Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Florida Man Weekly. I'm Stubbs.
And I'm Corn.
And we thank you so much for tuning in live if you're watching us right now, either on YouTube or on Twitch. If you're not, that's okay. You're probably listening to us on our podcast. If you can, catch us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. to see what all the fun is about, to see our pictures, hear the stories as they come.
Definitely. We appreciate you guys taking time to check us out.
That's right. All right, Corn, let's just jump right into it, if you will. I like to respect my elders.
Oh,
right.
I do as well.
Right. And then I think this first story we're gonna start with that by respecting our elders, and then also going to one of our favorite counties that always seems to give us a lot of good stories, Pasco.
Oh man, so close to Tampa.
That's right, but not quite. So here we go. So that's right. Out of Pasco County, 77-year-old Jane Galatello, I believe is her name. Right. So we have some fun names here in Florida.
What a great mugshot that is.
I don't know if that's a mugshot or if she's in her house and someone just took a picture. Like, I don't know how the police were able to take her to the mug.
Tinder profile, maybe?
Tinder. Oh, swiping right or left? What'd you use? Right or left on that one?
Left on that one.
I don't know, man. 77 years old. This isn't to the story, right?
Okay.
So this happened earlier this week. A 77-year-old Jane Galatello was in her home when she happened to walk into a living room, and there's another gentleman there who, according to the police reports into the articles, that is related to her. Mm-hmm. But as she was walking in, she saw that he had the Cinemax on.
Oh.
Okay. So we all know Cinemax can be kind of iffy. They do have some good movies during the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Skinemax, you mean?
Right. Well, that's where this goes, right? This is Friday night, 10 p.m., prime Skinemax hour.
Oh, man.
Right? So this gentleman that was sitting in the chair in her living room was watching Skinemax.
Safe to say his hands weren't up, correct?
I didn't say where his hands happened to be for this one. So as she was walking in, just happened at the same time, a topless woman happened to walk across the screen.
Oh.
And Miss Galatello here, being of probably, proper background, didn't find this naked lady on her TV, very nice.
She must have been appalled.
I mean, I could only imagine, 77 years old, right?
Yes.
So what she ended up doing, she started throwing a fit like any good grandma would. I'm assuming she's a grandma. I know we don't assume a lot of things, but I'm assuming that she's a grandma here.
Safe. That's a safe bet.
Right. She grabbed the closest thing that she could find. Any guesses what she could find in her living room?
All right, grandma, in my experience, shoe.
Very close, but not close at all. So what she happened to grab was a metal detector.
Oh.
So if anyone has been to Florida or has been on the beach and walked early mornings or late at nights, you always see a whole bunch of people walking around the beach, trying to find those lost treasures.
Oh, yeah, all kinds of treasure, wedding rings, necklaces.
Yeah, I don't know if those get there because people have bad breakups and they throw them in the ocean, or they just happen to leave them there, or they fall off in the water. Yeah. But yeah, so she grabbed this metal detector, swung in the air, and smacked this gentleman in the head with the metal detector.
Oh, man.
You would think like anyone who would get hit with any sort of blunt object would immediately call the cops.
Yeah.
Right? Nope, not this gentleman. He decided to wait around for a couple days.
A couple days.
I guess he just kind of shrugged it off or something. This was Friday night, so Sunday rolls around, and another argument pursued between the two.
Wait. So the guy just stayed there, and she was just didn't call the police, didn't do anything. He just stayed there, nursed his She nursed his wounds?
Yeah, so I'm not sure what exactly kind of what damage this metal detector did. I mean, assuming it probably left a pretty good bump, right, on his head. But apparently he was like, whatever. I got hit in the head with a metal detector. I live here. And like I said, we don't know how these two are related at all. I don't know if it's a boyfriend, they're getting jiggy with it somewhere.
Jiggy.
Or if it's a close brother or a cousin or something. I don't know. I have no idea, right? It wasn't divulged in the police reports. So another argument pursued between these two on Sunday, where Miss Galatello here grabbed this gentleman's arm so hard that her nails cut like a 1/2 inch deep gash into his arm.
Whoa.
That's where he drew the line, and that's when he picked up the phone and decided to call the cops. And
so that was the moment.
That was the line,
Not the metal detector.
To the head. No.
Her grabbing his hand, causing a laceration.
That was it.
That's the straw.
Yeah, absolutely. So come to find out, This gentleman, he was also not of the young type, right? He was 70 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I said before, maybe it may have been a boyfriend.
Could have been a booty call or something.
Exactly. You never know what happens here in Florida at these, this is a place for retirement.
Yeah.
People go here, no cares in the world.
That's
worry
true.
About any sort of STDs because their life is almost over anyways. So
Pretty
they
much.
go
I mean,
crazy.
unless he had some loofahs hanging off of one of his
Who knows?
things, like the
Right.
villages. We know what you guys do over there.
Oh, I know. So she was definitely booked in Pasco County Jail, and of course the charges that came across is abuse of an elderly over 65.
Oh man,
Even though this gentleman was younger than her, she still got that charge of abuse over an elderly.
What a crazy story to start things off.
That's
Man.
right. We love Pasco County. Thank you, Pasco, so much. Keep up the great stories. They give us great content. And as always, respect your elders.
Definitely. We would definitely be nothing without the Tampa area because, good Lord,
Right.
all the things that go on there. All right, for our second story, I'm going to call this story the Buy It Now Officer. This one comes out of Orlando. 62-year-old Joshua Santiago. So this guy, he has police in his family, so he decides that, he's also a volunteer, so he assumes that he's close enough that he might as well be an officer himself.
Wouldn't you? I see what policemen do. I'm going to help people, so
No,
I'm
yeah.
going to be an officer. Right?
No, yeah, of course. Volunteering, giving your time is one thing, but impersonating an officer, that's a whole nother thing.
That's a
So,
big line.
officers noticed a black four-door Acura patrolling an area and actually pulled someone over. He was talking to said individual, and the cop actually took notice and got a little closer. As the officer got closer to Joshua, he turned his lights off, let the person go, and then tried to evade said officer. So he's driving away, speeding, driving erratically. This in turn gave the police officer enough probable cause to pull him over.
Okay.
Once the police officer pulled him over, he gave him his driver's license and also gave him a badge that said he was a deputy sheriff of Charlotte County, Florida.
So this is almost sounds like the true definition of no fucks given.
Oh, zero F's given. But the funniest part is the badge he gave was one of the the 5-star badges that the kids get at the dollar store.
Oh, yeah. Come on! I mean,
not even a good fake you can get from China. Right. This is just dollar store quality. And then the officer pretty asked him okay, are you serious? He's like, I got it off of eBay.
okay. Let's hold up. So he has there's a whole bunch to this story. Let's kind of break it down. So first, he was driving a black sedan.
Yeah.
An
Acura.
Oh, an Acura. Okay, a black Acura. You said he had lights in it too?
Yes, he had red and white lights on.
Do we know where he got those lights?
I'm pretty sure at eBay. I found a couple auctions.
Is this like another one of those little toys he put in or something?
No, you can run LED strips and stuff like that to make them look similar.
Look at this guy. Do you think he ran LED strips? He probably just got something pretty.
I'm pretty sure this guy is just double-sided tape stick on.
If he paid or bought like a 99-cent badge, went through all the hassle to go on eBay because you have to bid. Unless it's a buy it now, like you had mentioned before.
Listen,
then you have to wait for the shipping if they're actually going to ship it on time or not. Then leave the comments in the back. And when he could have just gone down to Walmart or his local dollar store and bought one so much easier.
True. I mean, you go as far as putting the lights in your car. I figure you would do your due diligence and get the best fake police badge possible. Anyway, throughout the course of the interrogation, he reiterated the point that his cousin is also a trooper, throwing him under the bus. And then he was taken into custody.
Jeez.
Basically, Joshua Santiago was arrested on charges of falsely impersonating an officer of the law.
Oh, boy. Okay. So I have friends that are in law enforcement, right? And I have family that's also retired law enforcement. Okay. And there are perks that come with knowing law enforcement.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right? So especially if that law enforcement officer is very well known within the community, has some seniority in it, has done some cool things. You can tend to kind of skirt by some issues, like maybe a brake light out, or maybe you're speeding over 10 miles an hour, you hit 15, 20, you may just be like, okay, don't do that crap again, right?
Yeah, of course.
But you never throw your family, who is a police officer, under the bus. All those rights get revoked,
especially while you're committing a possible felony.
It is a felony. Impersonating a police officer is in fact a felony. Yes.
Oh man.
I mean, let's look at this guy again. Like I said, if you're listening to us, you can check out the story on flmantoday.com. For those of you watching now, this gentleman, he looks like a deer in the headlights.
Pretty much.
So I would say it does look like he has some empathy here. He's like, oh shit, I just got caught because I'm not good enough or something.
He's like, damn, my cousin's gonna kick my ass.
Get me. Yeah, I'm gonna be disowned from the family.
Yeah,
all that stuff. Oh man, that's. Police officer, come on. Yeah, jeez.
For anybody that's out there, please, we don't condone this, but if you're going to impersonate a police officer, at least get the suit.
Watch
and
Cops,
get a good badge.
Yeah, watch Cops Time or Two or Live PD.
Yeah, there's enough Live PD episodes out there to at least come close.
Do something, right?
Bad boys,
what you gonna do?
I wonder if he had this blaring in his car.
bad boys.
You think he had a CD player or a cassette tape in that car?
I mean, it depends on what year that car was of his. That guy probably maybe even had an 8-track. Who knows?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into getting something to drink.
All right, all these fake cops and 77-year-old booty calls are making me thirsty. All right, for our weekly Florida beverage, this one comes from Florida Beer Company.
Oh, okay. The old Florida Beer Company.
They are located in Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Space Coast.
Space Coast.
A lot of things happening down on the Space Coast.
Definitely a lot of things, a lot of companies going out there. Good stuff for the Florida state. The name of this beer is called the Sunshine State Florida Lager.
Okay.
It is a toasted caramel malt lager with a clean finish.
Oh, that sounds really good. More so because it has no hops.
I
hops.
tried to spare you this time, but this has 5% alcohol, and it pairs well with your standard foods, Florida foods, hamburgers, ribs, chicken, methamphetamines, and oxycodone.
Going back to that Florida cocktail.
That's right.
Change.org.
So you gotta power up.
That's
Ready
right.
to try this?
Let's do it. Let's pop it open.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh. That's pretty good. I feel like this would go great with marijuana as well.
I think any beer and cannabis work well together. I don't know. I don't smoke.
I mean, yeah, so I've heard.
Or oils. I don't do that either.
Yeah, none of that stuff. I have a family.
I actually like it a lot. So I like the flavor. I think this is one of your better beer picks you've had since we've started.
No, because it's not loaded with hops, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good. I'd say this is akin to an Amberbach.
Okay. Yeah, no, very much, and very good caramely flavor, very smooth.
Yes, very, very smooth finish. For this one, if I would definitely drink this beer again. I'm going to give this one a Cat 4.
Cat 4, and if you're just joining us, if this is your first episode watching or listening, we do use the hurricane categories to rate our beverages. Yes, and I'm actually going to agree with you, Corn. I'm actually going to give you a 4, give this a 4 as well,
nice.
Just because it is super smooth, goes down very well. Like you said, it can be drank with almost anything, and by far your best choice, I think, that you've had so far.
Thank you.
That was great. All right, let's go on to the third story. This story, oh man, okay. So we have some crazy things that happen in Florida. Hence, why we have Florida Man or flmantoday.com, as we have this podcast and webcast. If you're watching FL Man Weekly, this is great. Okay, so I'm not sure what this gentleman's background is, okay? So if you are watching, what's coming on the screen right now is 24-year-old Joseph Michael Bianique. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Once again, all kinds of crazy names here in Florida.
Hey, listen, it's butchered. Don't matter.
Right. So this gentleman here, Mr. Bianique, or let's call him Joe. It's a whole lot easier. was arrested from and due to breaking in and vandalizing a warehouse.
Okay.
Okay, so typical breaking and entering, no big deal. I mean, it is a big deal. You shouldn't do it.
Standard issue Florida man crime.
Right. So this kind of has some fun little twists and turns in it. All right. So when he was arrested, he was caught on camera, half naked, almost nude.
Okay.
And so when the police arrived, they're like, why are you naked? Right? You started off on cameras and fully clothed, and you're like naked now.
It wouldn't be a Florida man story without some
nudism,
nudity,
right? Yeah, I know. So here it goes. Right? Let's break it down. So this gentleman here decided at around 2 a.m. to go break into a plumbing warehouse.
Okay.
So there was actually a worker working at that first plumbing warehouse. Right. The worker said that Joe here didn't threaten him or anything. He just kind of came in with a hammer, started smashing things. Just going on a rampage for whatever reason. I don't know if bath salts are going to be involved or not.
Oh man,
we all know those stories a couple years ago. But he started breaking things, and as soon as he was notified that the police had been called, he decided to steal a forklift.
Oh.
Go right down the road, crash into a gate of another plumbing warehouse.
Oh man, attack on the plumbers.
I know. I don't know what this dude's deal is with the plumbers out here. Broke in, started smashing things, smashing pipes and everything. That's where he initially started to disrobe in the second warehouse. Okay, so he was going to town half naked. I guess he's getting his rocks off by smashing things. Maybe putting out a little frustration that he may have had for whatever's going on in his life.
Yeah, maybe he lost his job or something.
Yeah, you don't know. Don't know. Well, then he saw on the security panel that it was flashing that that police or someone had been notified that there was
silent
a break-in.
alarm.
Exactly,
Okay.
right? Started flashing. Yeah. So this spooked the guy. He picked up his belongings, got back on the forklift, decided to go back to the first warehouse. Okay? So I don't know why, because the cops were already called for that first warehouse. I don't know why you go back to the first scene of the crime.
Doesn't make any sense.
Once again, not very bright individuals that we have around here, unfortunately. But this is what he did. He then decided to go into a bathroom at that first warehouse. Half of his clothes in the hand with hammer and everything that he goes in. And decides to take a shower.
Okay.
All right.
So wait, the plumbing warehouse has a shower. Oh, but I mean, they would have like an eye wash station or something like that. So
yes, I'm not sure exactly where said shower, like how it all transpires, like if there's an actual shower itself in the bathroom, or
I've looked at places that had a shower, so I was just curious as to why this particular business had one. But hey, you never know.
It's a plumbing warehouse, so I would assume they would have everything you need for plumbing.
That's
right?
true. Maybe they have a demo shower with real
never know,
running water,
right? So the police did eventually show up, confronted Joe here. Joe had a hammer, was refusing to let go of the hammer, so the K9 unit was brought in. So as soon as Joe saw the dog, he immediately put down the hammer and succumbed to arrest, where he could be heard shouting, "I was only taking a shit."
How dare Florida police interrupt this guy while he's taking a shit?
I know. I mean, that's like any man's sanctuary.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, at least wait till he's done.
Right, yeah, be courteous.
Yeah,
right. We just need our alone time. That's a great place for it.
He's good.
Detox.
You come busting in. You got your dog barking, just growling. I'm like, just let me finish.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, I don't know what actually motivated Joe here to break into a plumbing warehouse. Two of them, take a shower, take a shit. It could be that he doesn't have a home. Could be a homeless guy.
I'm pretty sure this is gonna come out. He was a disgruntled employee that was fired.
Could be a disgruntled
and said,
employee.
"You know what? F this. I'm gonna show you."
But this is probably one of the best cases of disgruntled employees because he didn't hurt anybody. He didn't threaten anybody. There was a worker there. He just kind of.
This is a perfect situation of hold my beer.
Watch what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, this one has all kinds of twists and turns in it. He's currently being held on a $27,000 bond.
Yeah, he probably did a lot of damage.
The next. Yeah, and I mean, 2 warehouses, a forklift theft, breaking fences, busting porcelain. Yeah, absolutely. So,
that is insane. That's a great story.
And this was Lee County.
Lee County. That is where's Lee County?
Yeah, I'd have to look on the map. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's somewhere close to Tampa.
I mean, there's a bathroom involved, so I mean, there's probably pee somewhere.
Yeah, God knows it's close to Tampa. Damn you, Tampa.
Oh man.
All right, it's now time for our next segment called Florida Man versus the World.
Favorite segment here.
All right, so this one comes out of India. I'm looking at you because I can, beyond the other smells that come out of India, I can smell the Florida in you. This one specifically comes out of Kursipar, and I'm just going to warn you, I'm going to butcher these names to all hell.
So I've been doing it all show. So,
so for you fellow fathers out there of preteen daughters, a woman's father, his name was Bansal, decided to elope with another boy.
okay.
Who his father, Yograj, was a factory owner, local factory owner.
Okay.
The woman's father, Bansal, did not approve of this eloping. I believe they still have arranged marriages there.
Yeah, I have a lot of Indian friends, and if you happen to be of Indian descent or Indians, you can feel free to send us some information on this to clear us up. Stories at flmantoday.com. But yes, so it's semi-arranged.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
It's my understanding. So what happens is, it's gone on a quick little tangent, is there's this basically an astrologer, if you will, when it comes time for individuals to marry.
Okay.
And the families kind of go out and try to find someone that might be a suitable mate for their son or daughter. Okay. Once they think they have someone, they both go to this astrologer. The astrologer reads the stars, if you will, based off of when they were born, time they were born, their names, where at in India they were from, and they come up with basically like a percentage score, if you will.
Oh, okay.
There used to be an app like way back in the day that you could put a name in, and you put your name in, and you hit a calculator. I think it was called Love Calculator or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I really feel like I did this in Casadega.
Right. So like I said, if the stars don't align, if you will, then that match is off, and they continue to look for someone that is. So like I said, it's semi-arranged, kind of not arranged, but then also the two that are supposed to get married also have to hit it off as well. So if they don't hit it off, they can say no.
Okay. All right. So there's some choice involved.
Exactly.
All right. So basically, Bansal was not about this. Excuse me. So he decides to pull up to Yograi, which is the father of the boy she eloped with.
Okay.
He is walking from work. Bansal and his goons, they beat him up. They strip him naked.
Oh, man.
They take him to another location where they beat, urinate on him,
Whoa.
force him to eat feces, and just pummel this guy into all hell because they disapproved of the union with his
Okay.
son.
I don't think there's any sort of case, maybe one or two, that I would ever, one, urinate on somebody, or two, make them eat feces.
Well, you don't have a preteen daughter who likes boys, and
I don't.
this is a
That's
note.
correct.
This is a note to all of my daughter's potential boyfriends. I am about that life. I have no problem doing any of this.
And just so you know, Corin, I'm not scared to put you on Florida Man Weekly if I need to. So.
That would be pretty awkward, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Oh man, it'd be the best mugshot you ever seen. All right, so after Yograi was assaulted, he ended up making it, finding the strength to make it home. He ended up getting home to his family, reporting the incident, and Bansal and his homies are currently in custody following the event.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, we're going to a time now, and like I said, there's a lot of movement more towards people's rights or their choices.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I mean, if these two really like each other, I mean, they want to get married, okay, but that doesn't call for a beating.
No, yeah, I mean, and then the peeing and the feces. Yeah. I mean, you could just stop at the peeing.
Yeah, no. That's the line, right?
Yeah, the peeing's a lie.
That's good. Everything else, not so much.
That's right. Note to any of my daughter's future boyfriends.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great story. Okay. And just to kind of recap, what Florida Man versus the World is we try to pick a story that's outside of Florida and see if they can compete with Florida Man, right? So that was a good story that I think they can definitely compete. My story comes out of good old Russia.
Oh,
the motherland, right?
Ale Putin.
Right. So this story, like I said, comes out of Russia. I can't pronounce the district that it was on. It's like Republic of Dagestan or something like that.
Try. I've already butchered the names enough.
Anyways, so this has to do with a 33-year-old repairman. Okay, so apparently this guy was driving his kid. Well, his kid was in the car. The story's very weird, and we all know news in Russia and what actually comes out and what's actually truth. We don't know. So here's what basically
I saw Putin riding a bear, and I figured it was real.
Right. Here's what I got out of it. Okay, so this repairman was either just dropped his kid off or had his kid going to drop his kid off and then going to work. He's a repairman who, for some reason, had an axe or something for whatever job he does.
Okay.
And he was also wearing a Joker mask. So we know the movie just came out, Joker. He was wearing the Joker mask. He had this axe with him.
Pretty normal.
And he decided to stop at the school, go up to the school, and yell at them for playing their music too loud because it was making his kid cry.
I agree.
He was in a car driving past, and he decided to stop at a school because the school was playing too loud of a music.
How young was the kid? Because
it doesn't say.
When you have a young kid and they start screaming or they wake up, you will do anything.
How do we know this kid wasn't screaming at the Joker mask that he was wearing or the axe?
It doesn't matter. It's the school's fault.
Yeah. So, anyways, the authorities were called when this guy was interrogated. One of the questions was, "Have you ever seen the movie Joker? You know that this Joker movie just came out." And this guy was totally oblivious. He says, "I have no idea what this is. I don't even know what Joker looks like. I only play football on PlayStation, football versus soccer." So,
yeah, because the Joker movie is definitely based on a true story.
Yeah. So, this guy going into a school with an axe in a Joker mask to yell at them for playing music, and then have never seen the movie Joker. So he's currently incarcerated, waiting for what's next. So
that's crazy story, and this is a note to all of you schools blaring your music. Don't wake our kids up, man. Dad's over here driving around trying to keep the kids asleep.
Yeah, no. So, like I said, this is our segment. We want to hear what stories you have. If you have a story that thinks that can rival our Florida Man versus the World stories, email them to us, stories@flmantoday.com.
Definitely. All right, we're going to move on to our next segment. This is our Florida Feel segment because everything in Florida isn't always fake cops, 77-year-old booty calls, and
showers and plumbers.
People breaking into the companies. This is actually about male awareness for breast cancer. This one comes out of Middleburg, Florida, which is pretty much close to Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. This is a Zach Yarborough story. He's 38 years old. One of the manliest of the manly men. Look at that beard. One day I'll have one. I'll be a real boy one day. Big, burly, beard growing, fisherman, hunter, former ACC football player,
nice.
Competitive swimmer. He even swam with swordfish, and those are pretty crazy fish.
They are.
Found a lump in his chest last year. Went to the doctor, got a mammogram and an ultrasound, and ended up being diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, which is a common type of breast cancer for men.
Yeah.
In July, he had a mastectomy of his left breast and has been going through chemotherapy ever since. The picture, he had actually lost all of his hair and had to shave his beard, and he was kind of used to that because coming from the competitive swimming background, but it was still a change for him to get through, and he kind of just wanted to show that, hey, just because he's like, I'm one of the manliest guys out there, and this could happen to me, it could happen to anybody. So, men, guys, get checked out go get your yearly 6-month checkups. Don't be afraid to go to the doctor. They're here to help. If you can catch something early, you're definitely more likely to survive.
Yeah, and he was super vocal about his condition. Like I said, he was trying to spread awareness, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, Basically, he's been at the he's been trying to help promote the Clay County's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer 5K, which was actually held last night, and they had a goal of $75,000. And per the website, they actually reached $67,000,
very close. Wow.
$313 toward their goal. So
great.
if you are able to donate, you can donate at makingstrides@acevents.org.
All right, yeah, we'll throw that link up in the comments in our description as well, just in case if that appeals to you. Do highly recommend it.
But definitely, guys, if you haven't been to a doctor in a while, definitely go get checked out. It's definitely worthwhile. And if you have a family or whatever, just get checked out. You never know.
You never know. Kind of going right along that lines, all month we've been talking about the most common types of cancer that occur in women. Tonight we're talking about lung cancer, which is the number 3 most common cancer that is found in women.
Okay.
But it is the number 1 cause of death in cancers for both men and women.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, like Corin was saying, no matter what, hopefully you're all going to your doctors, all getting checked out on everything you can. Speak with them. If you notice any sort of shortness of breath, coughing with blood, pains, immediate weight loss,
any symptoms, just go.
But usually, unfortunately, with lung cancer, if you're seeing the symptoms, the cancer itself has usually progressed to a more advanced stage. So once again, do those checkups, go talk to your doctors. We do have a couple foundations that we always like to highlight. The first one here is Go-To Foundation for Lung Cancer. You can check them out at gotofoundation.org. They do some cancer research, help with any sort of treatments. Another one is Longevity. You can find them at longevity.org. Once again, like I said, we just want to bring awareness to different cancers, especially during Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us. If you have any stories you want to email us, please don't go out and create your own. But if you have any funny stories, definitely email them to us at stories@flmantoday.com. Visit us at flmantoday.com on the website. Social media, we are on the big 3, Facebook, Twitter, and IG at flmantoday. If you have any beverages you'd like us to try or any recommendations you'd like us to check out, please email us once again, stories@flmantoday.com. The podcast will be uploaded about Monday?
Yeah, usually about Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon, and we'll post a link on that. Definitely check us out on all of your favorite podcast apps. We are now in Apple Podcasts, so you can definitely find us on podcast app, Overcast, all your favorite apps.
Yep. Drop us a review. Give us a 5-star if you like it.
5-star.
Thumbs up in the comments.
Definitely. And if you want, even if you want to see how many V-neck colored shirts I have, because I have an infinite amount.
All right. Once again, thank you so much for watching, or if you're listening on your favorite podcast app. We hope you'll join us next week, 9 p.m. Eastern on FL Man Weekly, or you can find us on YouTube or Twitch. We hope you guys have a good night. I'm Stubbs.
And I'm Corn.
Stay classy, Florida.